ladies, I'm Preeta Sukhtankar and I'm the founder of The Label Life. I'm excited to do this class today and I hope that you can get something out of it. These are tough times, I know, and I'm just hoping that we can all realize that we're in this together, and at the end of it all, maybe, just maybe, there is a silver lining, and I'm hoping that some of the lessons that we have had while building The Label Life will help you along this journey. It's not just me. I actually have 5 really talented women entrepreneurs joining me today on this live to help you understand a little bit more about what I'm talking about. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'd like to start with the very first labor of love, but the very first video that we made. I also want to share that this was shot at a friend's place. We did not have any professionals on this, including the person who shot it was a friend of ours, the person who edited the film was a friend of ours, and the music background actually was by my brother-in-law. Enjoy it, and I'll meet you back to tell you a bit more about what we're going to talk about today. I believe that most direct-to-consumer brands, or most consumer brands, are built on 5 tenets. If not, they should be. In today's class, I'm going to talk a little bit about each of them, and like I said before, we're going to have 5 wonderful entrepreneurs also lean in and tell us a little bit more about this. I'll start the first with consumers. I think the big differentiator of when we started The Label Life as well, and we continue to build as we go along, is that we genuinely understand the consumer. We are a team of women. We are a team of women who has worked in content. We're a team of women who are stylists. We're a team of women who really strongly believe that there is a gap in the market that we want to fill. We are creating product that we want to wear ourselves. We are not designers and we're stylists. And so not only are we the consumers, we're also the creators of the product. Let me start by telling you how we did that. We created what we call a customer avatar, and I strongly recommend you guys do it too if that is what you're building. Just take a sheet of paper, write everything you want to know or about the consumer you're building this product for. You can write about brands you think she follows besides the one that you're trying to build, TV shows she watches. You can even talk about lipstick colors that she likes to wear. Basically write so much about your consumer that you can actually form an intimate relationship with her even before you start to talk to her. Later, of course, this will also help you in building not only just your consumer avatar and a better product, but it will also allow you to plan your digital marketing strategy better. On Facebook, they'll ask you about attributes and you'll already know them. Investors will ask you about who your consumer will know and you already know. That will also allow you to define your target market super closely, not just psychographically, but genuinely help you build a product that will sell better. I feel that our semi-success, there's no success, but our semi-success is credited to the fact that not only are we the consumer, but we also understand our consumer really well. The first person, and who better to talk about putting consumers first than my favorite Payal Singhal. She's a fantastic designer, and you must hear about how her brand and she have put consumers first.
Hi, this is Payal Singhal, and I'm here to talk about how to build a community through putting your customers first. For the last 20 years, we have been building our brand, the Payal Singhal brand, with a very loyal PS girls community. And I think that has happened because we've been able to put our customers' needs and desires and wants first. It's not about selling a product to them, but it's about asking them what product they want and they need, and then creating that product. I think that's really been a differentiating factor for us as a brand. It's always been the PS girl who has dictated and led us into creating new products and servicing them. Even now, I think post-COVID, one of the very big questions we're going to all have to answer is going to be, what do our customers need? And not just dump product on them that we desire to sell, but give them stuff that they actually can use and will have a need for post this pandemic. Another few things that we have done, to kind of put the customer first has been giving them a comfort level to come back to the store as and when they need for a lifetime. So anything you buy from the Payal Singhal brand has like a lifetime service guarantee. So if you come back even after a year or 5 years and you've gained weight, lost weight, we're going to be there to help you. And that gives them a sense of community and being part of a much larger picture. And I think that has really, really helped.
The second thing that we'd like to talk about, and a tenet that we feel that the label life is based on, is engaging content. Now this I am seriously proud of, because I feel as a content first person myself, I personally I used to be a writer, and my background is actually not management or technology, but it's really spent a lot of time as a producer at MTV, a writer at Elle Magazine, was a publisher at 17. So I do believe that content is the best way of driving a customer, and more than a customer, really creating a consumer. And we believe that, instead of spending or throwing money at the problem and constantly getting more inorganic followers, we'd like to believe that we create unpaid content, and we constantly create content for this customer, whether it is the fact that we have this kind of following on social media, whether we've created content by having these wonderful 3 style editors who really aren't just ambassadors of our product but are real stakeholders in it, and they build content, they build unique followers for us. We're constantly creating content. It's our main driver of growth. We have a ton of followers on Instagram, we have a lot of people on Twitter, on Facebook, but we're constantly producing content for it, be it user-generated content which validates your product. There is just so much to be said about content, but I'm going to allow Pragya. Pragya is a film producer, and instead of listening to how the label life does it, I'm going to allow Pragya to tell you how content can be generated.
Hi guys, my name is Pragya Kapoor and I work as a film producer. Filmmaking is a very, very passionate field, and if you would like to enter the business of films, I would say the most important thing you have to do is to find your own voice, because that's what's going to set you and your scripts apart from everyone else out there and help you create an identity. So the first thing you got to do is to ask yourself, what do I want to tell the world, and how can I make a difference to someone's life? The audience might not remember every dialogue or every scene from your film, but what they will remember is how you made them feel. And that emotion is something that they will carry with themselves for many, many years of their life. Now, whether you choose to make them cry or laugh or think, that's up to you. But remember, you have to make them feel something. And you have to make sure that they can relate to your characters and their inner battles. Now that your script is ready and approved, well, the fun begins. You get to build your own community, and everyone and their expertise are all equally important for your script to reach its true potential. It's important that they believe in the script as much as you do, so choose them well. Whether your film does well or not is not in your hand. Just make sure you're true to your voice and your story. Losing objectivity and self-doubting can really put you on the wrong track. So listen to everyone, but in the end, do whatever you think is right. Over the years, as you keep making films, you realize that actually a lot of people out there who love your films and they really connect over them. A lot of people have a lot of discussions, and some people even attend workshops where they can break down that script and understand every single detail as well as nuance that you thought of. Your film is now bringing people together. You're inspiring young filmmakers to find their voice. Your content is now building a community.
Thanks, Pragya. That clearly, enough can be said about content. When we decided to work with these three style editors, for us the idea was not just to build a brand that was based on the fact that we believed that the Indian woman was also looking for guidance in what she should buy. We also believed that the Indian woman was going to be very active on social media, and influencers were going to be relevant. But we also actually believed that we needed to constantly start conversations. It was not only going to be about, hey, wear this product, I'm the ambassador. It was also going to be about how do we constantly build conversation, how do we constantly keep people engaged, people coming back to us, build a two-way communication between us and our consumers and our followers. What people say to us, what people say about us, what people say about what is important to them about our product. All of this makes us believe that we are building a value proposition that goes beyond our product. And I feel like we learn a lot from when a consumer talks to us. If you notice, recently I'll give you an example of how we built in conversation and we created conversation. We had Malaika, Bipasha, Suzanne just this December. While in one of our brainstorming meetings, we realized that we're looking forward to the party season. Oh, we're looking forward to the party season. Even now, I wonder whether there will be one. But we're looking forward to the party season, and we said, we always imagine that we'll wear this amazing maxi, or we'll always imagine that we want to wear this little black dress. Never know where to find it. And people and consumers will always be looking for it, but they don't know how to find it. Why don't we turn it the other way around? Why don't we ask you? Why don't we start a conversation with you, our consumer, as to what would they like to wear this season? And we actually did that, and we generated a lot of responses just through Insta stories, just through asking questions and honest feedback. And what we did then is we co-created product on it, and that's my next tenet on what we're built for. But that's how we created conversation. And it's not just conversations to create products, but it's also conversations to have people come back to your Instagram account. It's conversations to make sure that you keep the product and content alive. It's conversations to make sure that people know the brand is alive, and actually to feel like the brand has a voice and a beating heart. I mean, I want to go back to the avatar thing that we discussed. We also actually have an avatar for our brand itself. So we actually talk about if Label Life, who is Label Life? What does Label Life mean? If Label Life was a song, what song would you pick? if label life was a color, what color would it be? You know, when we created our logo as well, we put a lot of life into it, and I feel that's what allows us to create this content, put our customers first, and hence create content, then engage them in conversations. And who better than Pooja Dhingra, who's built one of my favorite brands that it has more life than just the macaroons or just the yummy brownies that she makes, but actually the brand lives, and the brand lives on social media. And I'm going to ask Pooja to say something about the conversations that she creates.
Hi guys, I'm Pooja Dhingra from Love 15 Patisserie in Mumbai, and we've been building an audience on Instagram for over 5-6 years. I think what really works for us is, the sense of community and belonging. For example, the content that we put out is not only buy, but it's also, for example, we started a property called Sunday Baking Club, where every Sunday we put out a recipe, which is tried and tested. We give it step by step. And every Sunday we have hundreds of people that log in and bake with us. So this not only gives people, it kind of builds a sense of trust with the brand, that, they go and bake this in their own kitchens and they feel like they can trust us. So I think it's things that, it's not always about just selling something, but it's also about creating the sense of belonging and making a community that relies on you for something more than your product.
So we talked about customers first, we talked about engaging content, then we talked about conversations that the content brings, and you heard the wonderful Pragya, Pooja, and Payal, all 3 P's. Okay, we're going to talk about co-creating products. This is something that I feel we just talked about, that we created a conversation around social media where, and through Insta stories, where we ask people what they want to wear for New Year's. Then we took it to the next level, that we said, okay, on this season, since we got answers on I'd like to wear chiffons, I'd like to wear sequins, whatever it is, we actually then created a collection. And we created a collection around what people had said. So we actually co-created a product with our customer. And then what ends up happening is then it actually feels like a direct-to-consumer brand built for the woman, by the women, and it feels like you're creating something together, and you're not just a brand that is, a designer tells you, paisleys are in, blue is the color, wear it. Instead, it feels like this brand is actually listening to you. The brand is also alive and well, and it allows you to engage and feel more connected to the brand. And I think that is really important when you're engaging with your consumer, and that's what we did. Also, while co-creating product, we've made sure that our style editors are equally involved. All 3 of them have spent a lot of time in the business. They have a certain sense of style. Suzanne, as you guys all know, is absolutely a decom mavin. Her ideas for creating home products are always, she's creating mood boards. In fact, we have a call with her tomorrow morning where she's created various mood boards for this exciting new line that we're launching with her. So she's very into that. Malika as well wants to be involved in all the details on how the tops is. She's also co-creating products. So when you're creating product with so many people, you end up actually building something that women want to wear, and that's what I think that we're doing well. I'll give you an example. I'm going to play you our anniversary video that we feel was a good example of how we put together the anniversary story celebration, saying that the style editors were creating product for you, and the girls you'll see in the video were all shapes, all sizes, and all put together by the style editors. So their looks were genuinely put together by the style editors. We actually hired not models, but really our customers to take part in the video. And actually because of that, I feel like the video was so much fun, and we also celebrated you in it. Take a look at that video. idea from the video and what I was talking about co-creating product. We've done a couple of these things and we continue to do them at the Label Life because we feel like it's important that consumers do feel that they're part of the story, you know. Even when it comes to launching new products, I'll give you another example of co-creating products. We always realized that our laptop bags do really well. Now we were curious as to why our laptop bags seem to be flying off the shelf, but we didn't want to do the conventional that we keep launching that laptop bag and we know that it'll sell. Instead, what we decided to do was we put out, again, an Insta story. Instagram does well for us, clearly. We put up a story saying what makes the perfect laptop bag and what don't we have in our laptop bag. And I cannot tell you the responses we got. We got about 70 responses and people told us things like, oh, my arm doesn't go through the laptop bag. Somebody else said, I do feel like we're not being able to put our phone inside properly, or what material is it, you know, people don't want leather, you know, what material are you using? And we realized that we got so many responses that we then created the perfect laptop bag, and it was burgundy and it had everything that the customer asked us about, and hey, that laptop bag did really well. So co-creating products with your consumers or people really helps. Again, I have an expert advisor on this, and who better than the lovely Jessica from Pahadi Local, one of my favorite beauty brands. Take a look at what she has to say about co-creating product.
Thanks, Preeta, for inviting me to your amazing masterclass. I'm inspired by you, so I'm delighted to be here. So let's get to it. Hi guys, I'm Jessica and I run a brand called Pahadi Local. I'm here to talk to you today about content generation through co-creating a product. Given the current climate of self-assessment and increasing awareness for sustainability, a word that's no longer key, hip, trendy, or going to make any of us famous. Sustainability is the new normal, and hey, it's here to stay. I believe that this is the best time for brand owners to engage with their consumers through customer-led content generation. Why not co-create something relevant and important like product packaging that's eco-friendly? This will also open the narrative for important topics like integration of recyclability, environmental impact, and waste elimination. I think this is the time to involve customers on our brand journey. Let's take these conscious steps, and hey, we're all in this together.
So we talked about customers first, we talked about content, we talked about conversation, and we talked about co-creating product. Finally, what happens with this relentless focus on customers, with delivering the content, which generates hence two-way conversations? We have really hence built a true community, and we feel once you build a true community, there can be nothing stopping you. Okay, maybe the pandemic, but there can be nothing stopping you, and you will go forth and achieve what you have to when you're building a brand, or at least we hope. But it's got us this far, and we feel like when you co-create products, you're actually building stakeholders. So people really feel that not only is it creating a better product, but it's also allowing us to genuinely create a sales channel from our consumers. You know, I'll give you an example of something that happened to me personally recently. That I was at one of our stores actually in High Street, Phoenix, and I came across. I was just standing, you know, my usual visit to the store, and two girls walked in, and one said, "Oh no, don't shop with them. I had a really bad experience with them." And the other one said, "Oh," and she was about to turn around, like actually leave the store. And I said, "Hey, excuse me, hi, I'm Preeta and I'm the founder." And they were both a bit taken aback. And I said, "Can you please tell me what went wrong? Because I would not want to lose a consumer, so I really want to know what went wrong." And especially because this is something we pride ourselves on, that we want people to tell. By people I mean, I want women to tell other women that I had a really good experience with the brand and this was exactly opposite of what I heard, right? And she said, "You know, I bought a top from you, and it didn't fit me and I couldn't return it well. I said, really? That's all? Please let me solve it for you. And I actually realized that she had tried to reach out to us on a channel that I don't know why she didn't get a response to, and that is not good customer service, and it's something that we should fix. But what ended up happening is that now she was so taken aback that she actually wrote to us saying that it was so nice that I intervened, and then I got it settled for her, and it was almost a year old, and she had tried exchanging it actually after a year, which I realized later, and our customer service refused. But then of course now we rectified it, and she was so happy that she ended up talking more about us. And that's what I mean, you know, where you build a community, you build people who feel that they can actually talk about you. It happened even at pop-ups. We did pop-ups to begin with before opening stores, and I feel that when we did the pop-ups, especially in Calcutta, so many women came the first day, and then the next day we had many more women, and we actually hadn't promoted it, and we realized that it was the conversation that we were driving, in the community. And when women came over, when they tried on product, they realized that this was product they actually wanted. So I think all of it sort of came together, and I feel like, you know, community is the only way one can build, you know, an organic way of driving a consumer to you. Again, I have my, you know, almost my inspiration, as I call her. She and I have worked together for very many years back at MTV, and I feel like she is doing the best job out of building community with Malini's Girl Tribe. So here is Miss Malini telling you a bit more about how community can drive content and a better relationship with your brand.
Hi everyone, I'm Malini Agarwal, founder of Miss Malini Entertainment and Malini's Girl Tribe. Thank you, Preeta, for having me. Now, when it comes to building community through content, my best tip for you is to focus on creating a safe and vibrant space for conversation. A virtual community should be treated just like a real-life community, so ensure that you set some guidelines and values and enlist the help of community moderators, and above all, treat everyone with empathy, kindness, and respect. See, a community requires a common purpose, an interest, or an agenda, and very often the content will be user-generated through conversational threads. Now, you can amplify and support that with relevant content that you know will appeal to the audience that you're addressing. But honestly, the key to building a thriving community is making the effort to engage, respond, and really hear the things your community is talking about. See, in Malini's Girl Tribe, we talk about literally everything under the sun, whether it's work, relationships, travel, food, mental health, beauty, and right now, of course, quarantine life. I find the most rewarding aspect of the experience comes from taking the time to read and respond personally. My greatest learning about social media has been how much unlearning we have to do, and it requires a lot of patience and time. Because unlike on generic social media, in a community, people are giving a great deal more of themselves with the expectation that they will be included in more than a passive sense. So I think what is important to note here is the intent of someone joining a community. See, they want to feel a sense of belonging, value for their time, and to be seen. So your community needs to be nurtured constantly, just like you would nurture any relationships you wish to maintain in real life. I hope that helps. Stay home and stay safe.
Thanks, Malini. Ladies, I hope that was helpful. I'd also like to say that I'm extremely good on email. My email ID is preeta@thelabellife.com. I like talking to people. I like helping out, especially other women entrepreneurs. I recently did a live chat with someone else, and I actually had people write into me, and I'm in touch with some of those women, and I'd really like to answer any queries if you have any, not just on the what I feel are the 5 tenets of building a brand, but any other questions that you may have as well. So do write into me. Meanwhile, I hope this was helpful, and if you need anything, you can always reach out to me. I want to end with talking a bit about the current situation that we're in, because I feel like it's the elephant in the room. This is a tough time, and This is the thing, the God to honest truth is that nobody has the answers. We can't control the situation. There's nothing that we can do. No government stimulus, no vaccine can take away what you're going through at this time. But all I can say is, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build something, just know that this is the time to be smart. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Watch your fixed costs, look at them a bit ruthlessly. This doesn't mean that you have to let people go at this point, or this doesn't mean that, but yes, you will have to take a long, hard look at your fixed costs and do away with things that you don't, would be good to have and not must-haves, because I think it's only going to get worse in August, September. It's actually going to become much harder in August, September, because you're going to realize that it's tougher maybe than we think. Or hey, hallelujah, I also believe that consumer sentiment may be back and we'll all be okay, but be prepared for it. Also, I think there is going to be a new normal. We all keep talking about it, but it also allows you to now look at a product, marketing ideas, some great ideas on what they would want when they came back to work. And we got some really, really, really good ideas. So do that with your teams, do that with yourself. Maybe the idea that you're having needs to be re-looked at. So do that, but hang in there. When the good news is, when we get out of here, I promise you we're going to be stronger and faster. In any case, we're women, and I always say we're much stronger than what we are actually the stronger sex. I know you already know this, so I don't have to say it. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Reach out to me, like I said, and thank you for listening in, and I hope we were helpful. And shop on the Labor Life. Thank you.